Hi and welcome back to XPlane 11, and it's been a few weeks since I've been in here, as I've said in many videos recently, not for any particularly bad reason or anything like that. I haven't been avoiding it or anything. I just had a fairly busy time with non-VR things, and yeah, I've been trying to catch up, and I've got a couple of other things going on game-wise and that as well, so just haven't got round to it. So I'm carrying on with my round Great Britain, maybe UK trip and everything. So I'm in this place, I forget what it's called now, Eastchurch I think it was. What's interesting is when I uploaded the video of my last session, and I just went and checked the details and everything before I annotate them, doing the description of things, I can't find any evidence that there is an airfield here. There's a museum, a kind of museum of flight, a small one as far as I could see, if I was reading things correctly, but like, there didn't seem to be an airstrip, not one that looked as fancy as this anyway, with an actual tower and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think this place is a bit mythical. So my flight plan today is, as I said before, around here. It's a bit hard to see, isn't it? Can I zoom in any more? Can I? No, can't take that off. No clouds. Okay, we'll go. Can I turn mode? No, that doesn't help. That doesn't help either. Okay, we'll go with that. So I'm here, and this part of England here seems to be, I find it hard to believe, but it seems to be completely devoid of any airstrips. I couldn't find anything in the flight planning software to land. So I'm going down to this place here called Lydd, I think it is. I was a little tempted to just fly straight down. It was like a 15-minute flight apparently, but I thought, do you know what, I feel like that's sort of cheating. I wanted a quick flight, but what the heck. So my plan is, although I'm going there, I'm going to go all the way out to here. I think, is it Eastbourne is out there? I don't know this part of England very well. And then going to dip down to Dover and then along the coast and land there. And that's the corner turned. I'm finally going to be heading west after this, rather than heading roughly south. So anyway, let's get going. I think I got all the lights on that I need on and stuff like that. I have not checked the weather. I don't know what the weather's like. Let's just go for it, right? Turn that off. Give it some power. Check my rudder. And the pedals are working. Yeah, they're fine. Is that the strip there? It's got to be right. So I'm just going to come in on the end of the strip. I'm actually not even sure what direction I want to be heading in. Okay, I want to actually be heading in that direction. I don't know what direction the wind's blowing. I haven't planned this at all. So yeah, weather-wise, I don't know what's going on. It looks quite overcast. It's also interesting that I actually started this in June, and it's now, what month is it? September. So I'm only, what, maybe about a third to a half of the way around, and we're definitely into autumn now, right? Definitely into autumn. So I'm going to be doing some of this in winter, which is going to be interesting. Right, so I think I want to take off and then pretty much turn right round. So, hand on the yoke, let's give it some power. Give it rudder. Try and keep it's going straight down. And we're up. I felt like I very, very nearly ran out of field then. Right, I'm just going to fly with my hands on for a moment. Maybe most of the way actually, we'll see how this goes. like that was a slightly untidy takeoff. But considering I haven't been in here for a few weeks, it wasn't too bad. Right, there we go. We're on the right route. So altitude 500. Let's bring it up. Those clouds look pretty low. Those clouds look really quite low actually. Come around a little bit too much. It's looking a bit hazy today. It's long enough that I've been, since I was last in here, that I've sort of forgotten how the autopilot works. Oh, there's some sun. There's actually some sun. Keep climbing a little bit. We do look to be getting close to these clouds, so it whites out in a moment. I'm going to have to dip back down. It's only 1,000 feet and I feel like I'm very close to those clouds already. Maybe today wasn't a flying day. Not for someone doing VFR anyway. But this is all part of the fun of VR, right? And simulators. We can be a little bit daring. We definitely dare to be daring. I feel like I'm very close to these clouds now. Just trying to level out, keep it kind of level. It's starting to look a bit more misty in front of me, although it also looks like there's sort of more broken cloud as well, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I don't know how long this flight's going to take. I think the route I actually mapped out turned what should have been a 15-minute flight into about 30 minutes. Although I don't know what kind of airspeed, or actually I suppose ground speed is more important here. I don't know what kind of ground speed it's assuming in the planning software I'm using. I don't dive into it that much. I basically just use it to map out a route. I mean, obviously, I hope the thing that's really obvious from this is I'm not simming hard here. I'm doing this more for the VR experience than from the really hard simming. It would be kind of cool to do it, trying to make it as realistic as possible, but I feel like I'd need to dedicate a good afternoon to it or something like that every so often, so really not play that much else and concentrate on the simming, which is certainly a thing I used to do like 20 years ago, whatever. I used to have a reasonable flight sim setup. I've spoken about quite a few times before. Had the yoke and the pedals and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, I quite often retire to the office for an evening and try and do a proper flight and follow all the correct rules of flying and try and navigate properly, set myself some real challenges and goals. I'm starting to lose a bit of height. Just to try and actually do all the navigation, all that kind of stuff properly. Which is always fun. but that, you know, that didn't leave much scope for gaming other things. It kind of actually took, you know, studying books and things like that, which was fun. I really enjoyed it, but I don't quite have the time or the inclination really to do that now. Okay, so it's still flying by hand. I think I'm going to try and do this whole flight by hand actually, rather than using the autopilot. About 11 minutes off the turning point. What did I say it is over there? Is it Eastbourne? I think it was Eastbourne. If anyone ever happens to watch this and this is your part of the world, I do apologise for the complete lack of knowledge of this part of England. Oh, I've got that thing where my hand, no, left hand's not working. There we go. It does that. If I hold it in one position for too long, it just kind of stays there. I don't think it's a issue with the controller or the VR setup. I think it's actually something the game does for some reason. So I have to start waving my hand around quite a bit just to get it to move again. I don't know if it's supposed to be some kind of feature or if it just loses track of the controller and decides to leave it there. Right, about 10 minutes left. A bit more cloud. Need to be careful. At least there doesn't seem to be much in the way of turbulence. It's definitely been last couple of flights. Probably not the last session, but there were a couple of sessions recently. Recently, I don't mean in terms of time. I mean in terms of sessions, you know, sessions in this, as it were, where there was some real turbulence and I was being thrown about quite a bit. This is feeling steadier. Still got some way to go yet. Whoa. Letting the nose really creep up there. Trying to look at the map. So it's the same problem. The moment I look away, my hand wanders. This display here is kind of useless, really. I don't know if there's a way of actually putting a less cluttered display on there or something. Still some distance to go. So yeah, there's definitely been a bit of a break in my playing of this. I think it's maybe 4 weeks since the last recording session. I can't remember. Not because I don't want to play it. It's just sometimes this is you know, one of the what's the best way of putting it? It's not the most exciting of things to do in terms of content and gameplay and things like that. I've got to be in the right sort of state of mind to want to do this, because it's very much about just like sitting here and mostly chilling and talking to myself, obviously, because that's what I'm doing here. yeah, it's mostly just kind of sat here watching the instruments, trying to think about how to balance all the inputs and not get overwhelmed by everything that's going on. And yeah, whereas other games are obviously, you know, full on explore things, walk around, shoot things up, that kind of stuff. It's not the case with this. There we go. It's the correct time, I think. Is it really 20 to 3 already? I'm scared of looking at my watch now. Let me just let go of that a second. No, it isn't. Actually, that time's completely wrong. Well, okay, so it is 1340 BST. So why it thinks yeah, that's the UTC time. Why does he think I'm 2 hours ahead? That's weird. So he thinks it's 1441 local time. It really isn't. It's 1341 local time. It's been right in the past. Right, there's the turn up ahead. Probably actually going to see France from here, aren't I? It might be it on the horizon, actually. Is that land on the horizon, or is that just the horizon? Looking like the English Channel down there. No, I think that's just the horizon, isn't it? It's not really that I'm seeing land very well. There's actually nothing in that direction. It'd be more over that way as I look here. It's just I could see that dark line. I was trying to figure out why I could see a dark line. Well, it's looking like it's sort of overcast, but I'm not getting any rain, so that's good. As you get deeper into autumn and then into winter, a couple of things are going to kick in. I'm probably going to have to pay a bit more attention to the weather, but also I'm going to have to be a bit careful about what time of day I play this, because I'm doing, you know, I'm trying to do this real time, and while this is try again, this is an acceptable time. Sometimes it's been late on in the afternoon, getting into the evening when I played this. So yeah, once we get into the depths of winter, especially depending on where I am by that point, it could be getting dark quite early. I mean, if I end up getting back up to Scotland by, yeah, I mean, it's kind of getting into November, December time, I'm going to be wanting to be back on the ground before like 3 in the afternoon, 3:30ish, because like the sun will be setting soon. definitely a thing I'm going to have to think about. A big building there. Getting close enough that I can make my turn. Just going to head straight for the waypoint. For the waypoint to change to the next leg. Come on, should be close enough now. Yeah, there we go. Turn the corner. I'm going to go a little bit wide. Roughly where I'm going. So, how long we got? About 8 minutes, is that? To Dover? I think that's to Dover. Okay, so I'm showing what looks like an airfield there. That certainly wasn't in the planning software I was looking at and using. Oh, there, right down there. Okay, who are you? So I could have landed there if I wanted. Oh, is that a... Oh no, it's just a collection of buildings. I thought that was an airport or something down there then. Another aircraft that direction. When my nose slipped down. I'm going to be careful, not paying attention. Almost like a harbour down there. I thought from this altitude I would have been able to see some land over there. I'm adjusting my headset a little bit, it's slipping down. I'm going to let go for a second. There we go. Hopefully that's okay. 6 minutes. I think a neat practice, sort of trying to fly straight while not looking at the front. Need to practice like keeping my hand steady and having a look around and just enjoying the view and coming back and not finding I put myself into a dive or a crazy climb or something like that. That would be good, right? I wonder if the terrain is going to be a bit more cliff-like as we get further along here. Because certainly ever since I hit sort of Lincolnshire, at least, all the way down the coast, it's been really quite flat. I wonder what altitude that plane's at. Surely he's not above the clouds, right? Or worse, inland. Straying off a little bit. I'm sort of following the coast, roughly, but it's not quite on the line I mapped out. Does that look like it's getting hillier? Oh, it's still not sitting right. There we go. Kind of had my cheek pinched a little bit and was just like dragging down on my eye. He's up ahead of me somewhere. Looks like he's on 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I can't see him. Actually, a hint of sun there. Keep an eye out for him. Quite off my track now, but I'm sort of half following the terrain. Definitely looks like it's getting a bit hillier, I think. Still ahead of me. Stopped my 2 o'clock, I think. See him anywhere though. He's actually in those clouds. What's that there? Oh, this cloud looks like it's getting kind of low. Lose a bit of altitude. No, I think that little triangle's something on the ground. I don't think it's other traffic. This cloud's looking a bit low. definitely getting missed here. Be careful here. He's ahead of me as well, almost. I'm sort of turning towards him, but he's some way ahead of me, so I think I should be okay. Should be sort of that way. I think we're safe. Like, this looks like it's going to be Dover down here, doesn't it? I've never actually been to Dover myself. I've taken a ferry over to France a couple of times, but it's always been from Portsmouth. Oh yeah, this looks like it's actually Dover. Off to the side, off that way, somewhere now. So I think we're good. Right, let's come wide and have a look at things from out over the water. Okay, well, there's definitely some effort has been put in to modelling the port. Oh, straight at the cloud. Just descend, there we go. Wanted to have a look at it. It's hardly massively detailed, but there's some effort there for sure. So it's train lines as well and things like that. Right, there's a lot of cloud around here. That looks very low as well. Kill some height. Okay, I think we're good. So I think we've got, yeah, about 10 minutes. But that's it. I've turned the corner. Now heading west. So heading not quite there yet, some distance to go yet, but I'm definitely heading for a part of the country that I have lived. Lived in Hampshire for, what was it, about 11, 12 years? So it'd be quite nice to find somewhere around there that I recognise. I wonder, I'm just trying to think, Worthy Down? I think would be a place. I mean, it's going inland a little bit, but I don't have to. You know, it's like I flew in towards York and parked up there. I flew in towards Fenland and parked up there. So when I get around Hampshire, it'd be quite nice to find somewhere to park up for the end of a session that's not a million miles away from somewhere where I either lived or would visit. Get a bit of speed on. Well, I wouldn't say I saw any white cliffs or anything. I wouldn't really say I saw cliffs at all. At least the terrain's a little bit bumpier. So far I've actually done okay with the weather, I would say. Right, there we go. I was looking out the window and started creeping off to the right, but it wasn't even obvious to me that I was doing that. I was just trying to admire the view. Seven minutes. There's no sign of France. Probably lost in the haze, right? It looks like that other plane. I'm definitely heading off to France. Quite far out over the water. Probably further out than I would have liked. Let's stick with it. We've got left 6 minutes. And then that's where the calm ends, because then I have to land this thing. At some point as well, I think I said it before, I should try a simple flight or two in something a bit bigger, you know, a commercial jet, not necessarily a big ass 747, but I think there's a couple of smaller commercial jets in this, and be interesting to try and do a full flight from, let's say, Edinburgh down to one of the London airports. And do it in one sitting. So it should be doable in, what, about an hour, yeah? Something like that. You need to be careful, getting in a bit too much height with this cloud. I'm out over the water. I'm going to have to fully rely on my artificial horizon if I get myself out of visual flight. Just try and scoot under this. to be a touch under 4 minutes out from this airport. Destination should be ahead. Can't see it yet. I think it is pretty close to the coast. Might have to do a little flyover just to figure out where it is. Figure out the lay of the land. See a little patch of yellow in front of me, but I don't know if that's it or if that's just a beach. Three minutes out now. Still can't see it. Okay, gonna have to do a flyover. Just gonna let go of that. And just my headset ready for landing. Still can't see it. Might be off to the right ever so slightly. No, still can't see it. Of course, it could end up that this place existed in my flight planning software but doesn't exist in the game. Haven't encountered that yet. Is that a strip or a road there? Something down there. There's a little collection of buildings down there. I'm not seeing a strip. Right, I'm going to fly over it and see what there is. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, hang on. Hang on. What's that there? Are just a clump of trees, or is that what I'm after? It's more over this way anyway. Something down there. Oh! There! Okay, I see the strip. Okay, so I'm kind of flying upwind now, so I'm so not doing a standard pattern here. This is fine. This is fine. Well, at least I found it. come round and I can't even remember what side I should be on. I think I'm kind of... I need to read up on the correct way to do a proper pattern. It's so long since I actually mucked about in flight simulators in any serious way. I can't remember if I'm on the right side or not. But I'm going to come around here, get myself what should be a downwind leg, and then see about coming down. And landing. This is not a tidy landing. Far from tidy, actually. But let's just be careful and cautious and get down in one piece. So many of these I seem to have done as just a straight in landing. So to actually do one that even pretends to try and be flying an actual pattern is a bit of a first. You watch my speed. Way too high. Okay, I'm going to go around again. This is just a practice lineup. Totally a practice lineup. I feel like I'm sinking, but I'm relying on my instruments, holding a fairly good slow speed, holding my altitude about 400. Trust the instruments. Just wiggling my hand a little bit to make sure it doesn't get stuck, because now would not be a good time. For my yoke to get stuck. I'm going to come a little wide this side. I'm going to go round over to those houses and come a little bit more straight in. Keep my altitude around 400, 500. Get a bit more under control. Oh, creeping up. I don't want to be creeping up. flying close to the stall. I maybe shouldn't have put the full flaps on yet. Right, still high. Lose more height. I'll let the nose down for a bit. Chase the Varsy, which is not a great thing to do. Around on the rudder a bit. This is messy. Watch my speed. Whoa, no. Down. Oh, that was bad. That was bad. I've had some fairly smooth landings recently, but that was bad. It was a little bit out of control at the end there. There we go. That was not good. But I'm down. Where am I going to park up? Over here, I think. Yeah, I'm not proud of that landing. Oh, those lights are a bit sticky out. Am I on the wrong side of them? Oh, I am. Yikes. This is actually not the taxiway. Let's pretend no one noticed. This looks like it's for the bigger aircraft, but I'm going to use one of these parking spots. And I'm down. Hang on. We're going to turn on the powered down. There we go. Made it. It was a terrible landing, quite frankly, but I made it. So, yeah, there we go. Right, so I'm all the way down from Edinburgh, made it down to the very edge, passed over. I've now turned essentially right and now heading west, so I'm going to swoop across the bottom of England, and then it'll be round and up and then into Wales. I just realised that there's a ramp. I gotta go see that. There's a ramp for cars over there, like a road, but then it terminates and doesn't go anywhere. Can we go up there and have a look? I think we can. Okay, I saw a car come along here and then just disappear off the edge. Okay, that's fun. That's really fun. I've lost my... Where's my plane? I've lost my plane. There I am over there. No, over there. There we go. Right, so anyway, yes. From this latest, I've lost count of how many legs there are now. I should remember that kind of thing, but I've lost count. But yeah, from my latest, mostly successful, slightly dodgy landing, may want to check a few things on my aircraft just to make sure that I haven't broken anything. I almost felt like I was actually going to scrape a wing at one point on that landing. Let's not talk about it too much. Dip into XPlane 11 VR. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.